Oh, and ology.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Hello.
Hello.
to use a Rexism.
Energy is contagious. So, speaking of contagious,
Yeah.
you've got something you're going to share with me.
I'll tell you what it says here. You know, I listened to you on Coast to Coast a few nights ago, and I thought I would contact you should you find it of value. Dr. Fabi Mosa and colleagues at the University of Paris-Saclay, France, discovered anthropogenic carbon nanotubes in the airways of asthmatic children, and he tied it directly to vapor fuels. So nanocarbon particles were put into fuels for better fuel mileage. So the nanoparticles would collect in the lungs and other soft tissues in what looked like clots, but when the clots were studied, they were found to be tubes.
I could see them spraying that stuff in the atmosphere to block the sun, right? Because they're saying, hey, there's too much sun.
Weather.
We have global warming. We have the ice caps melting. So they spray stuff in the atmosphere, and these carbon tubes. If you notice, you'll see a lot of those checker patterns in the atmosphere, and then that'll dissipate, and it'll turn into like a big sheet. So you've got a big sheet cloud. Just got a hot tip from Penelope over at the Viral Enology Institute. She's in Florida. We're going to meet up on scene. Now, there is a chemical compound that is almost at the nano level, and it could be widespread. So we're going to check out some locations and find out where it's actually coming from.
Yes, Dr. After she was on a cable news show talking about her work as director of neuropathology at long haulers of COVID. I listened to her actual findings and then sent her an email suggesting she look at the clots in patients that died of COVID and see if she found tubes. These tubes were reservoirs for virus and bacteria. This same source reached out to Dr. after he was on a cable news program. And then after this contact, 66 years old, and this is the director of neuropathology. So this contact tells me that I don't like it when a person I had contact with, who I was in email communication with, and was on the trail, really dies.
If they're doing those carbon tubes, like you were showing, those carbon tubes could turn this sheet into it could turn the clouds into like a reflective. They'd be reflective. So the sun bounces back off. And so they use that as an excuse. Oh, well, we're trying to save the people. But in reality, it's causing some major side effects. And I've read reports where they've admitted to that. But the fuel, I mean, think about that. You could put it in the gas of cars, everything. I've got a military-grade Geiger counter as well. So we're going to, if it's radioactive, we're going to find out. This will be able to pick up radiation, radioactive isotopes. We also have gear. This is specific clothing that will block EMFs. So if we're going to be exposed to high levels of EMFs, we'll have clothing for that. Say something as an example. Where did you get your information? The internet? And you'll be like, yeah, everything's on the internet now. Where did you get your information? CNN? I mean, come on, really? So anyway.